Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the draft as FaZe will take on Rise Nation. I'm LD. I am joined here by ZP. We are the two character name bros. At least that's what I'm calling us.
I'm down for it, man. As far as that goes, it makes life so much easier. The problem is with two character names is when websites and games want three characters and I have to tack on an S on the end because there's nothing else I can do.
Underscore.
Underscore?
Yes, by the way, I was saying it's tempo underscore ZP, but it's all one word, which you corrected me on.
But it's my own fault because my Twitch is ZP underscore TV, so I am not consistent with my branding at all. But
Get your shit together.
one thing that is consistent here is that FaZe very willing to let the control maps come in. Rise, perhaps not so much. Rise taking down Ilios, and FaZe taking down payload maps that they're perhaps not so much a fan of.
Yeah, seen a couple of control point maps still available. Nepal, Lijiang Tower. I would love to see some Nepal.
Seeing the Paul would be great. And there's a pretty good likelihood here, unless Rise takes it out, which they might. When teams go to control, they do have more practice on Lijiang than anything else. So if Rise takes out Nepal here, and our pool is Hollywood, 66, and Lijiang, wouldn't be that surprised. And they do take out Nepal, so that's exactly what we end up with.
All right, so ZP, you've seen these teams a lot. Which map do you expect to come first? Who's favored on each map? You mentioned in general you favor FaZe quite a bit. More experienced team, generally has gotten more accomplished historically.
FaZe, I think they're going to do really well in Lijiang. Obviously, it's a place where Shadowburn can have a playground. But the interesting thing, of course, when we saw FaZe earlier in the day is that Shadowburn, while still playing well, wasn't even his normal self. It was more Factor Fiction coming in with some really good tank play. So as long as FaZe has that going for them, I think they're going to be pretty versatile. But it will be Lijiang as our first map here, and we can see how Rise can strut their stuff. But if FaZe is able to take out Kingdom on control, where Kingdom has been playing super out of their minds on control maps recently, I feel like Rise is definitely going to have a bit of a rough time.
All right, well, getting ready to hop into the game now. Players in the lobby and draft complete. Lijiang to start, and then Hollywood Route 66 to follow. So we could see a little Route 66, one of the newer maps, but only if we get to that deciding third game.
The cool thing about Route 66 too for FaZe, we've also seen them have big games there where Shadowburn has just opened things up, particularly on second point for Route 66, where he's very, very comfortable with that map. Very comfortable running Genji on both defense and offense. Kind of a playground for Genji, as it turns out, but we are waiting for both teams to get ready here. Should be underway in just a moment. And worth noting here that this is the upper bracket. Neither of these teams is going home today. They will get to fight another day, but you really would like to go through today if possible.
Yeah, you go through today. I think you have the entire day off tomorrow because I believe the winter bracket finals is not until the final day. So you get a little rest, you get to sit back, watch the other teams, and you'll have a cruisier trip, obviously. Also, at that point, you're in the money, guaranteed top three, so very important there as well.
Well, at stake here for both these teams, but for FaZe, definitely feels like it's their day. And again, I think the cool part about FaZe is that obviously we talk a lot about Shadowburn, but you take a look at the tank play that they had there. It wasn't just Factor Fiction either. Zoms definitely had some very big moments on Zarya. The supports were on point. Raucus was sleeping Jesus over and over again when they played earlier, just stopping him in his tracks. So the core support for FaZe really having a good day.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the other side, it did seem at times like it was the spirit show for Rise Nation, especially on Hollywood, to hold that first point, the full hold. He got a lot of help from Locke, and I think that's the other thing, that Ana Switch seemed to make a big difference.
Ana Switch definitely did make a big difference, and it's one of those things where I get it. Locke is a really good Zen. I don't think anyone's going to dispute that. We've seen him do well on it, especially in recent times, but Ana, especially when you can empower a guy like Spirit that is that good on DPS, really let him take it to the next level with crazy plays. It's pretty solid, so Locke will be opening up here on that Ana once more.
All right, Spirit resuming his role as the Reaper, and I guess they're pretty fresh on Hollywood since they just played it. Forsaken trolling about on the Hanzo. We see that. Of course, ever elusive Symmetra. Do we actually get a Winston here?
Very well could. Factor Fiction is very comfortable on it, and Winston Genji, one of the better ways of cracking through a point, especially Hollywood, where people do tend to get pretty well set up.
Oh, they're actually running the Symmetra. All right.
No, the offense, I feel like Zom's going to swap out. I mean, if he runs it, that'd be something. One thing I'll say.
You're right. I got the. Still learning here, folks. Got the offense and defense mixed up.
Well, One thing I'll say, though, going into this is that really, FaZe did just get some game footage where they weren't playing at the time. They could take a look at that last map and go, okay, Rise just had a full hold here on Hollywood. And one thing that's telling is that they got to do the draft after. It's not like they took out Hollywood going, oh man, these guys just had a great defense in Hollywood, we don't want to play them there. So they weren't exactly scared by this. Or maybe they weren't doing their homework at all and they were off playing Legion. You never really know.
We're going to see Locke in that exact same position he was last time, just chilling on the cart. Out in front for the early fire strike is Desro, and behind him to boost him back towards safety if need be is ever-trusty Lucio, that's FaZe. And they're going to move in, so they are, in fact, running the Winston, though. Sadly, no Symmetra.
And look for the tag team here between Factor Fiction and Shadowburn. They're going to be diving in the same target to the back. They're going to be bombing in on the cafe.
Good
Factor
positioning
Fiction
here.
just getting a triple sleep to start things off. Even though Too Easy is down, this is really good coming up from Factor Fiction. Able to back out before it's too late. And Shadowburn goes in, gets his first kill. Already at 50% right now.
Man, well, so much space created by the Winston play there. And then staying alive after. The only real hero to really contest him was the Reaper, but he took so long to come up. Meanwhile, Shadowburn, very close to the sword, needs to be healed up and kept alive. He gets a nice headshot on Locke. Too Easy, looking to clean up here together with Shadowburn. These flankers getting into the backlines, and I mean, really, like you said, ZP, all of it being set up beautifully by the Winston movement.
Factor Fiction, that was beautiful, and he came very, very close to dying, but knew exactly how much he could push it, got out, got healed up, came back in, and that's a mark of really good Winston play. So FaZe operating on all cylinders here, and take a look at all the tools they have in their shed right now. LD, this is going to be huge.
Yeah, the sword available, 5 ultimates online, in fact. Now, they don't have an Ana to boost him up, but Winston can start this party whenever he wants, and they're going to try now with a Zarya ultimate, holding him in position, post bomb, triple kill. Too Easy, living up to his name there. Great setup for that. But still, the comeback in the fight, not over yet. Desro even going to commit the hammer for this. Little avail.
They're pulling this back here, and a little bit off the gas came FaZe, but they still have enough people here to keep this going. And they didn't really invest that much there. They had 3 ults that went in. Pulse Bomb, though, basically free. It builds up really quickly. Graviton is gone. Sound Barrier is gone. But Shadowburn going to have the Dragon Blade in the next fight. And it's worth noting here, by the way, that they are running the Zenithus. They're not running the Ana, so Shadowburn going to do this without the classic Nano Boost combo.
Being very patient with when he lets his sword go, and now the Zen ultimate coming out as he gets in. Meanwhile, trying to hack away at that Ana, he does manage to finish off. Big kill to get this fight underway, and simultaneously his monkey buddy, Factor Fiction, pushing them back. I should say Scientist buddy, but Spirit, again, Shadow or Switch striking in, and now in danger. The Winston shutting him down. Can he afford to try and run the Genji against this Winston? Seems like it's really causing problems.
Absolutely, it's causing problems. Shadowburn taking the backline, Forsaken falling through. And Forsaken actually really, really loves Zen. We're talking about Locke earlier on. Forsaken has run Zen in cases where it doesn't make sense and gets a lot out of it. Zen is really, really good. Many people forget about going in, but FaZe right now keeping all sorts of relentless momentum. And even though there's a lot of ultimates up here for the side of Rise, they struggle to get anything going, but the Graviton, Nano Boost, that could be a way.
Oh, they didn't manage to lock down Shadowburn, though. He's going to get into these backlines, work on Locke, but already he's losing teammates all around him. It looks like, though, still able to kill off the enemy Genji. And now Factor Fiction coming back into the fight. Good deflect there. And they are going to, for the time being at least, get this cart moving again. There will be at least one more hold ZP, but they've got 5 minutes and they're really close.
This is a blazingly fast time. It is an absolute deconstruction of Rise Nation right now. They're going to have to deal with the Dragon Blade here in just a moment. This could be over right here, right now. Shadowburn moving in. Here comes the Blade. Here comes the cart.
And he's looking for more. He's going to try to finish off that Reinhardt sound barrier. Coming out to desperately attempt to hold this point for now, but even has the deflect ready to deal with that whole hog. Can they get all the way in? The cart's real close. It's desperation mode. They've got to jump onto the cart as quickly as possible, but there's a monkey beating them down, forcing them back into the spawn practically, battering them like a piñata. I don't even know if they get on the cart.
This is brutal from top to bottom right now. FaZe doing everything they want to do and more. The defense just getting bruised and battered. Too easy now, even on the offensive Widow, able to take down Midnight. And there's a point where you always see offensive Widowmaker coming in on this point. Way back in the day, a little bit rare now, but Too Easy trying to make it work. Late Graviton coming in here for the offense. They just desperately trying to take out all these stragglers.
Well, I wanted to see Widow, I'm getting it, but maybe not for long, because Too Easy. It's a shooting gallery, and CP, when the cart's that close, you can't contest him. He just gets free reign over everybody.
He's getting all the free shots he wants right now and landing quite a few hits in the process. Shadowbird going to be doing the bulk of the heavy lifting, though, on top of the payload. But credit where credit is due. This is still a lot of delay coming out here from Rise, but
it's shocking they even held it that long. Like, they were basically at the point for like a solid minute there.
Yeah, and this is the case too, where if we had access to the full stat line right now, I feel like it would be one of those things. It'd be something like 35-2 or worse. It was about as one-sided as it gets in favor of FaZe, and FaZe finding themselves new gear there, and as good as Rise has been in making a name for themselves, that it's going to be rough to actually go forward and beat this time on their own attack, where they very well they were able to hold on first last time. They might be the ones that get held on first this time.
Yeah, especially if we see a performance that dominant to shut down Spirit, who wasn't able to have the impact he's hoping for. But yeah, I would love to see the stats. At least in competitive or in custom lobbies, I really hope that's something that Blizzard will make available. I mean, there's obviously some downsides to it being in ranked or in public matchmaking where maybe it leads to a little flaming, a little negativity about someone's scoreline, but these guys are pros, man. They should be able to take it. But yeah, I'm sure it was very one-sided. So the man with the golden gun, Too Easy, had a hell of a showing on the first map.
Now we get to play the favorite part here, which is guess what Too Easy's defensive hero is going to be. He actually, probably debating it with his team right now, switches up heroes a lot, sometimes for good reason, sometimes for no reason. Stopping again, and I just imagine...
He's like, guys, come on, let me play Junkrat.
He's actually probably just haggling with his team right now, going, no, let's run this, it's going to be better. And there's like, Too Easy.
Get your butt out here.
Eric, just come on, dude. Get your McCree out here.
Who usually wins that tug of war?
Depends. Too Easy can sometimes be pretty stubborn, so he might just go against everything time to time. But for now, it looks like he will be coming out here on this McCree.
It could be a very quick first map. 4 minutes they'll have to at least get the cart rolling, but man, finishing with 3, and it almost was 4. That barely able to chain hold that final point for a little bit of bonus time.
The funny thing with Too Easy, by the way, is you never really know. That could have been a case where he was just eating and it was like, all right, I'm coming out now. There might have been no backstory there whatsoever. Just as
or maybe going to the bathroom, since we've seen much of today. But
I mean, that'd be a bathroom really close to the PC. That you're almost entering bucket territory there.
Hey, maybe he plays on a laptop. Gotta tell you, I don't think you
mobility.
Yeah, exactly.
In and out of Overwatch.
Oh dear. They're moving in though, and again we're just seeing that free opportunity to sneak through alley, but looks like a head-on attack from Rise Nation. That Reinhardt shield getting low. They're going to manage to finish it off. They time it with the charge perfectly, but Shadowburn still finding those critical kills to at least attempt to hold on to this point. So far, 2 down.
Xretzi, though, really being a raid boss here, has taken down 3, sets up his team for war, was a big reason why Forsaken just died there. And Shadowburn at 7 HP isn't going to be really scaring anyone here, as his team has literally died all around him.
Still the point getting capped.
Shadowburn going to have to peek out here in just a moment. Shadowburn versus the world. Who is going to win? Looking here for Xretzi in the back. Xretzi's not looking at him, though. Takes him out the headshot shuriken. And can FaZe bring this back? They're going to try.
He's got the sword. They can go for this. They also have a McCree ultimate available to begin to raid, but no! Spirit cuts him down with a swift strike to the face, and that will be an instant cap. So much for the full hold, ZP. Now they got to try to win here in the great outdoors.
Rise coming in much stronger than expected there. And defensive FaZe just really getting caught with his pants down. Now, sort of similar to what we saw in round 1, it's going to be the attacking team with a whole lot of momentum. However, there is an X Factor here, LD, and it is going to be Shadowburn. His Dragon Blade is up. No nano boost to go with it, of course, since there's not an Ana, but...
They're close. They almost have all their ultimates, CP. All of them at 80 or above.
Shadowburn going to be looking for those 6 magic seconds here sooner rather than later. Right now, just very content to just take out Desro over the top, setting up the rest of his team.
Too Easy gets 2 with the McCree, and they hold all their ultimates. They've got the full complement. They will have ult advantage here, though. To be fair, Rise Nation also pretty close to their full complement. All those crucial defensive ultimates online. Just chipping away. Who's going to blink first? Who makes that initial move?
Shadowburn hanging out right now. Again, he won't use the Dragon Blade until it's needed. He's one of the Genjis that's very comfortable getting pickoffs without it. 6 ultimates at the right here for the defense, so they can pretty much do everything. Graviton comes in, and here comes Shadowburn diving in off the top.
Now looking for the McCree flashbang, just barely missing for Xretzi, but he's able to gun him down at the same time. Too Easy, finding 2 kills of his own. And now a third, a triple for the McCree. Where the Genji falters, the McCree pulls through.
And that's what you want from FaZe. That's when FaZe is at their best. And I've been one of his critics here, but I've known him for a really long time. And I'm honest about it. 2EZ has games where he looks like one of the best players in the world. And then he has games where he disappears. But when 2EZ is in that former category and playing well with Shadowburn, that's where FaZe looks unstoppable. And that's where FaZe is able to pull games off of teams like Rogue.
Yeah, and you know, ZP, one thing is we see X-Retzy asking for a pause.
Sorry, and then we should get on that here.
Control, shift, plus equal.
It is our admin that had... Hey, they're playing me. I don't have control here.
Oh dear.
So...
let's go find our admin.
All right, so LD has left here. He is hunting down the admin. We are going to be getting a pause in here sooner rather than later. This is where we get into that sweet, sweet late night radio jazz sort of thing. Pause does finally come in here on Beyond the Summit 109. Gonna be getting into the classics later on. I'm not even sure what I'm saying here. I'm just trying to fill in ways that only a sleep-deprived person can do. I tried to sleep on the plane, but let me just say there is a very, very loud toddler right next to me. It was not happening. LD, you've come back. We've paused the game. This is Dream Alive.
I am a man in two places at once. I don't know who was even asking for the pause there.
It was Rise asking for the pause. They lost their
lost
Reinhardt.
a decent amount of time there, too, unfortunately. We do have one player disconnected. Not sure what our admin will do about it, but still 2.5 minutes, and they will get some bonus time if we just end up playing through at the next point. So it's not like all hope is lost, but obviously this is not a great situation for them.
Not ideal, but it's also been a lot of momentum in favor of FaZe. So for FaZe right now, again, what we're seeing here, what we're talking is that they have a lot of momentum going their way with Shadowburn able to, of course, do Shadowburn things, but 2EZ been having a very good game as well, picking up at times where Shadowburn might get picked off early, and that's not to say the least of what their tank play has been doing, so it's been really good. There have been bright spots on the side of Rise, but they've been fewer by comparison.
It feels like what I was going to say right before the calls for the pause came in, that they really have been doing a good job at controlling high ground here. They've consistently had 2EZ getting free shots up there. They've also had Shadowburn on the McCree just chipping away, even when he goes in and ends up dying. Like, there's still that constant threat of them dropping on you. Is this where like a Winston might be an option to try and get up on the high ground and contest, or is that just getting outshot more than anything?
Winston can definitely be viable. Again, you take a look at some other regions there where they run Winston in a lot of situations, rain, sleet, or shine. It's definitely something you can use to get in over the top. I also think that there's probably merit to some of the compositions we used to see way back in the day where there was a point where the dislodge people off roofs, you would actually go to Winston Diva. Now, Diva has really fallen out of favor aside from stall situations.
With the defense matrix getting nerfed pretty significantly.
It got buffed, and then it got nerfed.
It was, I mean, you know, I don't play at a pro level, but my God, it was like impossible to do anything when that initially got improved. It just felt like it was always up. You could toggle it at will, but not quite as potent anymore.
It was that crazy strong Korean future vacuum, as it was dubbed by some people in the Pro Talk channel way back when.
We did see one situational Diva swap to try and counter a Reaper ult. I'm trying to remember who it was today. Was it Kingdom? I think Kingdom tried to do it like the very end of one of the maps. But it was not like, oh, just to get on the card. It was like, I hope Defense Matrix can counter this combo, but didn't matter.
You do see Diva sometimes counter Bastions, too, where I know C9 was running a Bastion the other night, and the counter came out where I was saying, you know, we're just going to run a Diva into this because it's actually kind of a pain for Bastion to deal with. He might be able to break through a Reinhardt shield or a Winston shield, but can't really do anything to Diva shield. It plays by different rules.
Well, looks like teams are ready, and we should be resuming. Oh, there's even a countdown. How lovely.
Countdown is in. Game is going to be resuming, and we'll see now if FaZe can bring things back, hold on to the top, if Rise can actually find a way through. But FaZe are playing quite well here to start things off, but they are down quite a few ultimates here. They're going to have to rely pretty heavily on Dragon Blade going into the next fight.
The man with the golden gun hanging out on the rooftops for now, getting those headshots. Spirit, they bait out the deflect, and then he instantly gets orbed as well. Meanwhile, looks like there was a charge in. Dashing forward with the Swift Strike, turning back and trying to deal. Well, he gets shut down by the counter Dragon Blade. Spirit proving that he's the real Gengu master. He won't get the third kill, though. Finished off by the Zenyatta, who now it's his turn to be up on the high ground. Snipes one, holding down for the full charge. Right click Forsaken, though will get sniped in turn by Xretzi, who's now flanking around on that McCree.
This is a very, very bloody fight between both teams, but Rise finally able to pierce through. They get the fight they're looking for. Now note, FaZe is still going to have the opportunity to hold this back on the second point. So not all is lost, but still could be a little bit rough. We'll see how things go. Shadowburn nowhere near to getting his Dragon Blade. They're going to have to clutch here on both support ults, Sound Barrier and Transcend.
All right, they're dropping down, engaging head-on. The defensive Zen ultimate gets dropped by Forsaken, but they have that Discord Orb on the Reinhardt. Can they focus him down? Xretzi, though, dealing with the Sound Barrier now. He's going to have to back away. They've already lost 2 and make it 3. They have been thoroughly shoved back.
So this is going to be the final push coming up here for Rise Nation. Time no longer on their side. Spirit able to take down Shadowburn towards the end, so that's actually being pretty good for them, getting a little bit of momentum. They're not going to be able to get the positioning on the defense that they otherwise would have had, and oh my goodness, if Forsaken gets picked off here, it would be absolutely massive. He needs to back off in a hurry.
Oh, meanwhile, Spirit also in trouble. Spirit will go down.
Forsaken turning that Spirit. Usually that goes away with the Genji, but Forsaken again, able to make some really strong things happen on his end. Meanwhile, the rest of the offense not really caring, staying on the payload. They are all in on this with 30 seconds left. They don't have much of a choice.
Reinhardt trying to commit for this. Both bubbles have been used, though, and already the beat has been dropped. Looking for that deflect. No, Shadowburn, he needs to back away. He's got a sword. This is a really good time to try and hold. Can they do it? Lets it go. Dragon Blade slicing and dicing. Looking for the McCree. Gets the extra shadow, or the Swift Strike. Not quite enough. Keeps on turning him into Chop Suey and will bring him down. They have still lost 5, though, and I think this card's going to go through, but time is becoming a bit of an issue here, as there's already a 3-minute advantage coming into this last bank.
Time is definitely on FaZe's side here, but it's good on Rise to get through in what was a rough situation. I mean, they had lost Spirit early on in that fight. That's never a good thing. It was because of Forsaken winning that Zen v Genji situation, but now for Rise, there is a real chance that they bring this back. It's a minute, though, here, LD, so everything must go right for them. They lose a single fight here, it could be pretty hard for them to bring it back.
Desro holding on to the hammer drop for the time being, getting close to that ultimate for Spirit as well. They really would like to combo those if possible, as the Zarya ult's nowhere near ready. Forsaken, oh, there's the charge. Reinhardt shielded and going really deep. It's going to bring down Factor Fiction, and now coming in from behind. Drops the hammer, it connects on 3, a beautiful catch. He's going to charge another. Desro going off, keeping his team alive for the time being. Desperately trying to hold, but Xretzi and Locke both going out as Too Easy tries to slam the door here on Rise Nation.
Too Easy was really keeping that relatively okay for FaZe. Was in the back line, no one was looking at him, so while all those Reinhardt shenanigans were going on, oh my goodness, the shots on the Spirit, but while the Reinhardt shenanigans were going on, Too Easy able to slip to the back and get the kills that are needed, and now he's leading the way, Deadeye on the way.
Yeah, he's going to zone them back again. Time is the real battle here. If they even get to the third point, Xretzi finished off by the Deadeye. Can they get back on the cart? Can they move it forward? Zarya, oh, but it actually pulls Too Easy around the corner, so he's fine. He's just working on FaZe from a safe position. Spirit trying to deal with him and slices him down, but they got to get all the way now in overtime, ZP.
Spirit right now in the back line, taking down Too Easy.
They're really running out of bodies. This
Spirit is pretty good, but this is a little bit rough. He is totally outmatched right now.
Zen's like 2v6? No, not gonna happen. So they continue to get clubbed down bit by bit. Desro finds a solitary kill in Shadowburn. The frantic tracer swap for Xretzi. It's gonna be incredibly tough. They're still, for the time being, keeping the overtime clock ticking, but it's just barely getting tagged as they just continue to throw bodies into the meat grinder, and at long last, they run out of gas. Bit unfortunate they lost some of that extra time bank, but you know, even if you give them that 30-second ZP, I don't know if they get all the way, and then they're still down 2.5 minutes going into that next switch.
It's always hard to predict, but overall, the flow of the game was definitely more in favor of FaZe than not. Rise, though, showing signs of life at points, and I think this sort of shows with Rise that they are a team that does have a lot of potential, but they need to carry it forward through the entire game. Not just the points, but of course, play the match coming in. Who else but Shadowburn?
Oh, we saw a lot of these at the World Cup, and he, you know, if he's a little jet lagged, not showing it so much as the day progresses here. Just really nice positioning with the Swift Strikes. weaving in and out of the enemy opposition, largely uncontested throughout that, and maybe that's where they look towards some sort of swap to try and control him a bit better, guys. So it is a best-of-3 showdown here. It's winner bracket action. Losing team not going to be eliminated, but will drop down, and they'll play tomorrow. So nobody from this series will get eliminated, but coming up later, we are going to have Kingdom take out Team Liquid in a best-of-3 as FaZe now pushes this to a 1-0 advantage. Should be interesting to see. And Desro going to make the call here. They want Lijiang Tower, so won't see Route 66 unless it goes to the deciding game number 3. Guys, for those just joining us, this is the Overwatch Route 66 Cup brought to you by Beyond the Summit. I'm LD. I'm joined here by someone you probably know a lot better. If you're a big Overwatch fan, that's ZP. And we will get our control point map, ZP. It's FaZe. I mean, I guess this is where I look at for Rise Nation. It's not just about like individual skill or teamwork. It's can you stay calm? You had a frustrating lack of a pause when you asked for one. Maybe you were going to lose the match anyway, but that can get in players' heads. You mentioned they're a little bit less experienced as a squad. Can they shake that off and just focus on the next game? Because they still have a chance to take the series if they can, or is it going to get under their skin?
It's definitely possible, and again, we've seen really good things come out of players like Spirit and XRC, especially when you put them on maps like this. But they are going against one of the best control point teams in the entire game, so even still, it is going to be tough.
So let me ask you, you mentioned they're one of the best control point teams. What specifically makes them so good at these maps compared to others?
A lot of it comes down to the fact that when you put Shadowburn in the sort of the circular area that you fight in here, he has a lot of ways of getting in to the back line of your team, and he also commands a lot of attention. Like, there's so many times where Shadowburn might go in, and he might not get anything done, but you do have that 1-2 punch on FaZe where Too Easy coming from the other side, do all sorts of damage. And that's not to say the least of how many plays Factor Fiction is able to make as a tank in these situations as well. So I just feel like FaZe is very good about grabbing opportunities. Even if Shadowburn is the figurehead, there's still a lot that goes in and around that.
So basically there's more playmaking potential for a very like kind of elusive flanking here on these types of maps as opposed to like a more, head-on, like kind of beat your heads together payload or control point style map potentially.
I would say so, and that's why FaZe doesn't usually get to play control too much, but Too Easy going down immediately. I think he just got reflected on by Spirit, so Spirit, big opportunities here for Rise Nation as they push FaZe back early on. Really difficult to come back when here McCree dies that early into the game.
That's a lot of damage down the drain. Point out XRC, he's been switching quite a bit today. We've seen him on the Roadhog, and now he's going to be on the Tracer, so showing some versatility in his hero pool. Good switch strike forward by Spirit. He makes it back safely, getting closer and closer to that Dragon Blade, and they will initially cap the point, though they are being heavily contested at that.
Right now holding on to their life. They are getting out-poked quite heavily here. XRC is down Tracer to the backline, trying to look for a little bit of miracles. Does take down Factor Fiction.
Oh, that's pretty big, though.
This is okay here for Rise. This Dragon Blade should be about to come in.
Yeah, does he want to commit it? He's managed to sneak around from behind the Ana boost. Committed now on McCree, and he charges into the point deflect. Not going to accomplish too much. And he still has a little bit of time left. He guns down the Tracer. He flashbangs the Genji mid-charge, but it doesn't matter. Spirit still survives on a sliver.
How did Spirit live for as long as he did there? I'm actually really confused as he didn't get knocked down by the Earth Shatter.
Yeah, that was
that was actually incredibly odd.
He had it looked like he had like 1 health there. That was just barely 1 bar, and man, that prediction flashbang, that almost was enough to completely shut him down.
Well, speaking of prediction, this is take a psychic to know this. Here comes Shadowburn on a Dragon Blade of his own, moving in, getting stymied though by the sound barrier.
Zom's already out of the fight. This one looking to be over for now as they will have to reset. Going to be pushing towards that like 75% mark. They've got a couple of big ult ZP, and they have advantage for now. They really need this fight to work.
Absolutely, and I gotta say, I am impressed by how strong Rise has come out here. It did get started off by that early pickoff onto Too Easy, but it's sort of shell-shocked FaZe, and they have not been able to recover even as they've thrown ults at this. But Zom's going to be looking to reverse course here. Is holding on to that Graviton. Should be coming in with the sound barrier, and here we go.
Yeah, moves in, still flanking, being patient here. He goes for the Graviton Surge on the backline. Ana isolated, trying to focus her down, and he's got 60 Pulse Cannon Charge, I should say, doing decent damage. Not enough to finish her off, though, as FaZe staying on the point. It's still currently in the control of Team Rise Nation.
And for Rise now, they only have to win 1 fight, maybe not even that. It is do or die now for FaZe on this first round. They have not had anything go their way. Too Easy with the late switch here. Moving on to the Tracer again, trying to keep things in. Soundbear out here. FaZe rolling onto that point, looking for the miracle. Desro, though, on the Forsaken land, not necessarily looking good here for FaZe.
Oh, Too Easy. No chance. He gets death by the hammer. Try for the Genji-Ana combo. That won't work out either. They just continue to mop him up. And this is just looking extremely dire. Very likely, yeah, indeed, we will see Map 1 going the way of Rise Nation, showing good resilience here.
Alrighty, so Rise Nation coming in stronger than certainly I thought coming into this with what we've seen from FaZe on control point maps thus far. FaZe, of course, able to take down King earlier, but it remains to be seen how much of that was just pure momentum where they weren't able to recover from that early pickoff.
Little basketball club in action. But they did shake it off, so we got our answer, ZP, that they're not going to let it get into their head. And now they have the advantage here. The best of 5 on this map. Can they continue to push through is the question. And I do want to point out, Factor Fiction, he has swapped to the Winston. So we are going to see a lot more pressure now in Spirit, it looks like.
And I'm pretty happy about this. There was a point where we saw Winston all the time here on maps like Lijiang, and then Reinhardt kind of came into vogue, but Factor Fiction, obviously very good Winston. We saw a lot there, and look at all the cleaving he's doing here. He already is at 60% ult charge. That is amazing Winston play coming out here by Factor Fiction.
Oh, he's almost dead,
Still
though.
living at 30 HP, still alive!
Oh, can't believe he survives through that. He's so close to his ultimate already. Primal Rage can be unleashed. He's going to tank that fire strike, but continues pouncing forward. He sees the Discord orb. Great communication here as they'll bring down the Genji, and now even managing to just barbecue another. FaZe will fall. They chase further. Complete just slaughter going the way of FaZe.
A lot of stuff going in FaZe's favor there, but anytime a Winston is able to do that much early on, it's great, and he's already going to have Primal Rage up for the second fight.
They just didn't contest him. He just sat there roasting them through the Reinhardt shield, and no one was even trying to damage him. It felt like just being healed up at the Zarya shield, and they couldn't take that kind of punishment.
Super, super strong. Graviton Surge is going to be coming in here from Rise, so they try and bring this right back. They're not getting quite as much as they want. Meanwhile, counter Big Bang combo on the way. Too Easy, blowing up Spirit.
3 quick kills going their way as they look to hold this point. It's being contested, but it'll be tough. Good hammer, though. Desro managing to find multiple. Is it going to be sufficient? Working on X-Retzy a little bit on the Tracer. Tracer's dueling it out. Nobody dying just yet. And the hammer is going crazy. The monkey continues to pound away. Still the point being held by FaZe through all of this as they battle back down 0-1 in this map. But they continue to hang on. And the contest will end. They'll have to do it all over again.
Factor Fiction's Winston has just been great, making all sorts of space, set up the Reinhardt there to be killed, and it's just been that constant thorn inside of Rise Nation here on this map. 60% to 0, and Chalbron's Dragonblade looking to try and keep it that way in just moments.
And Rise Nation not running their Zen or their Reaper that we've seen a little bit of for Spirits. They don't have the best tools to deal with that. Winston goes right in on a Genji, is deflecting, but just slices directly through it. We'll bring him down. Another stronghold. This is getting close to the end, ZP. They're going to need a hell of a push. They do have 3 ultimates here. They'll have the Blade, they'll have the Nano Boost, and they will have X-Retzy's ult, but I don't know if it's going to be enough with how well this point is being defended.
I would never count out Spirit here, but let's take a look at Too Easy. Too Easy's going to be looking for that really early pulse bomb to put this on the right track. I don't think he's going to be waiting for his ult. Here comes the stick. Doesn't quite get it. Samber, though, does come out from FaZe, and FaZe all in front of Desbro, and they do take him out.
Oh, just patiently picking them off in the rear. Too Easy. Still alive through all that, but finally they begin to break through just a little bit. Can they get in further? Midnight low, but he hangs on, and he's going to be able to shield up. He's got 100 energy, doing a lot of work as he continues to move on to the enemy Zarya, saying, I'm the real Zarya now. And it looks like, finally, they'll grab the point back. No contest in time.
Alrighty, so Rise Nation going to stay alive here on this round. A lot of ways, though, that FaZe can bring this back in their favor. Back infection, Primal Rage up again. He's looking to send Reinhardt on a ride. Oh, is he gonna get him out? Is he taking him out? Not going to knock him off the ledge, but the damage has been done.
That's almost more humiliating that you just have to sit there and watch him pound you for that long. Oh, dearie me. Great Winston play here down the stretch. Can they reclaim this point? Pulse bomb? No! Get the hell out of here, monkey, says X-Retzy. Kill him off.
That is one way of taking him out. So will be Rise Nation holding here again, despite that Winston play coming out. Shadowburn, though, hanging onto that all-important Dragonblade for the next fight. Really danger around all corners here for Rise Nation's FaZe, keeping on the pressure.
Too easy. He's been staying alive for a really long time, but here comes Shadowburn going to work with the sword, trying to fight his way through the enemy Zen ult, and he will find FaZe. He's just isolating all these heroes in the rear, and gonna bring down more. Shadowburn just kill after kill after kill.
I feel like I've seen more Shadowburn highlights on this particular map and stage than almost anything else. Something about the circular nature here where he can just find ways of getting max range dashes over and over again. So it's going to be FaZe bringing it right back 1-1 here on Lijiang Tower.
Well, it seems like they found the tools to deal with Spirit that time around. That Winston swap really paying off. Do we see any adjustments coming from the other side? They're not running locks. They're not running Lock Zen. We're not seeing Spirit swapping to the Reaper. So Vector Fiction pretty much able to do whatever he wants, but instead they're going to try to slow down Shadowburn. It looks like Desro grabbing his own Winston.
And for Shadowburn, slowdown is probably the right word to say, where you're not going to hard counter him or get him off the Genji outright, but you are going to be limiting his mobility. He's not going to be able to dive into your backline with anywhere near the same degree of ease. So it's nerfing Shadowburn a bit, but he's still going to be a threat.
Yeah, no Reinhardts for this one, at least not initially, as the monkeys go rushing in. Shadowburn hanging back for the time being. He got jumped, but he's being healed and protected. Starting to move onto the enemy Winston, trying to bring him down. Gets in close, good deflect there, decent damage done. Hasn't found the kill himself just yet, but stays alive. Ooh, he snipes him on the way out. Good rear and shot connected on Spirit to finish him off, and then moves for another. Shadowburn just popping off as he will convincingly take down the full ranks of Rise Nation.
That is just vintage SDB, Shadowburn himself, as it were. Just really, really excellent stuff. And he's going to have the Dragon Blade for the next fight. That's the part that's unfair. He's so good without Dragon Blade, but it gets him Dragon Blades even quicker. How's that even work, LD?
We'll find out. He's low as he starts this one. He gets the bubble. Doesn't even get the initial kill. He barely brings Lock with it, but that Discord Orb is causing him some issues here, but that where he falters slightly, too easy. Easily able to clean up. They'll still manage to bring down 4. And the point, again, remaining in their control. So
take a look at FaZe right now. Vector Fiction can have Primal Rage up in the next fight. If they take the bridge, he's going to be looking to throw some people off it.
Oh, this could be a good time for some monkey battering.
He's holding on to it for now. Here we go. Late into the fight. Primal Rage coming out, looking for that knockoff. Looking to send Lucio on a ride. Lucio, is he going to go for it? He gets knocked. Is he gone?
Get on the ride. And he's like, no, you get on the ride.
And he is gone. Paz gets knocked off, and he tried going for the wall ride. Not going to withstand. Big distractions coming in there from Vector Fiction.
Oh, some severe monkey violence. Shadowburn might just need to back away. He's going to flank, sneak around the rear, coming over the bridge, above the wall, and gets back on the point, moves on to Spirit. Wants to establish dominance as the real Genji. Grabs the health pack, getting back in, and the point not going to be contested enough. So at 75, tied 1-1, they're closing in on that 2-1 advantage. Chipping away, threatening. He's very close to his ultimate. There won't be a combo for Shadowburn, though, at least not initially.
Right now, holding on that ball, going to be looking to come in and get that early pickup. Not the best positioning right now. Here comes the Graviton, though. In comes the Big Bang. Gets the kills he's looking for. A triple kill for Xretzy, making it 4 towards the very end. It's 5 before it's all said and done.
Well, Tracer just went off, making a full team kill at the buzzer. 99%. Xretzy, I mean, he got a lot of help there, so let's not take credit away from the team, but, well, ZP, that's one way to pad your scoreline.
That was really good from Xretzy. Even with the team doing that, you still have to execute and go for it, but speaking of executions, here comes Shadowburn. Dragon Blade at the ready, into the air, signature move. Sound Bear still on him, it has faded, but the Dragon Blade has not taken down Xretzy. Immediate revenge, looking for a little bit more.
They really know how to just converge on these squishy targets as he barely hangs on the wall and climbs back up. Desperation time now. Desro trying to get on the point. They're only at 28. A 3-hero switch strike coming through, and he dashes back again. They clean it up. They'll recap, and it looks like this is just going to be pretty convincingly grabbed here by FaZe.
FaZe looking like they're going to hold on, and with FaZe here, they are one map, so they take this map, they will assure their position going into day 2. Look at stuff going for them, and now it's sort of can Rise keep this in contest moving forward.
The ultimate getting dropped now. Zarya trying to hang on, and they do manage to recap. It's still at 99%. What a great stall And a great hold, but they still have a lot of heavy lifting left to do, even if they recap it here.
It's looking more likely they're going to recap it. They had the miracle come back. They got the kills they needed. They take it back, but now if they lose a single fight here, that is going to be it. Spirit, though, holding on to that Dragon Blade.
Yeah, sorry guys, the score is backwards here. It's actually Rise Nation trailing 1-0 for those who are confused. So apologies for that, but yeah. We'll fix that after the game. Can't really do it now. As action breaking out, Spirit moving in onto the enemy. Lucio will bring Raucus down nice and early. Raucus drops. Wasn't that close to his ultimate, but still losing your Lucio. Never a good thing at this stage. Just the monkey rampage continues in earnest. Monkeys everywhere, and Spirit trying to deal with them. They're up to 65%. They are really making a great game of this. I feel like this point ZP has been at in overtime or at 99% for at least 2-3 minutes now, but they've almost called it all the way back.
They have, and it's all going to come down to this last final fight. Too Easy just now respawning. And it's going to come down to who else but Shadowburn. His Dragon Blade is up. There's not a whole lot up on the other side here for Rise. They don't have a sound barrier, so Shadowburn, show us what you got.
Not very much. Blasted off by a well-placed shot from the Zarya, and now Sticky patiently waits out that shield. Perfect timing by Too Easy, but he in turn is brought down by Spirit. They're still contesting. It is slowly being retaken at Spirit. Man-moding in. He's close to a Dragon Blade. Not going to be able to do much to that Zen, but he still hangs on. He gets healed fully up by his own counter Zen ultimate. Chaos breaking out on the point. Shadowburn there comes back in with the blade, wants to finish them off. Zen corpses flying off the map. Still though, can they do it? There's a couple of bodies lingering. They're getting close to an angry monkey. Desro, oh, he doesn't get it off. He was at 98%. Could have really stalled there. I think they might just fall here.
It's very close, but FaZe on the verge. They will take the round in the end. They made it dramatic. Actually, really good on them to get back in, especially after Shadowburn died so early in that last fight, but he was able to bring it back. Didn't lose his Dragon Blade. Was able to get some cleanup, but really good play across the board from a lot of members of this FaZe team.
So we enter what could be the final game of Lijiang Tower, and if that's the case, it will be the end of the series. Just need one more out of the next potential two. Still some work to go here for Rise Nation, trailing 0-1 in the best of 3. Any switch-ups worth mentioning? Doesn't really look like it. These teams just mirroring each other's comps and pretty comfortable with the setup. So much of it just coming down to those good Zarya ults with the Pulse Bomb and the Genji Sword.
What's a little notable to me, especially thinking about all the games that we saw going on Wednesday and on Thursday, is that we almost always saw a Reaper here from both teams on Sanctum. No Reapers in sight. Both teams going the way of the Ninja here, but Shadowburn's Ninja just being a little bit above. 2 quick kills here from FaZe as they set things up. Should be able to get first cap.
Reinhardt just coming in with the clothesline, or not Reinhardt, Winston rather, coming with the clothesline tactics, just slapping fools down, and now turning back to deal with Spirit on his Genji, who's staying alive for a while, but also may end up dying right as his team rejoins him. Does make it back. No, he's picked off. Unfortunate timing. They'll be without him for quite a while. Just off the map goes the Winston. That's quite staggered deaths. And on top of that, a lot of free ultimate charge for FaZe.
Ultimate charge definitely being a bigger deal here. Factor Fiction already pretty close to getting his Primal Rage. And I mean, normally it's a good ult to keep track of, but I feel like for Factor Fiction it's an even bigger deal just because of how much he gets off of it relative to your average Winston. So a lot of threats coming up here from this FaZe side. Here comes Spirit though, coming in over the top. Dragon Blade being unleashed once more.
And he finds those supports, breaking into the Zen, killing off the Zarya, and with that, quite possibly retaking the point. Too Easy doesn't seem to know where he is. Oh, now he will recall and finds him on the way back. Bringing down 2, countered and turned by X-Retzy, but here comes Shadowburn with his own Dragon Blade. Can he get in range of X-Retzy? Come here, you little mosquito, you gnat. Oh, he can't quite, but Factor Fiction there to clean up.
It's one of those things where X-Retzy was really concerned with Shadowburn and his very sharp, pointy sword, but there were multiple threats there to help out Shadowburn. Now Shadowburn just going back to his normal state here, throwing out Turkins from long range, building the next Dragon Blade, looking for opportunistic kills if possible. Too Easy, oh god, to the back, takes out Zenyatta. That's the good old days as far as Tracer Zen goes, where Tracers, they do love dining on the Zenyatta buffet.
Yeah, a little bit harder since some of the buffs he's gotten, but still able to ambush. Too Easy going for the deep flank. He might spawn camp potentially here. He just lets a few of them move through. At the same time, though, his own Zarya gets committed. He goes for the long-range lob on the Pulse Bomb. Doesn't end up finding the kills, though. And, well, there you go. X-Retzy picked off. Now looking for Midnight, too. Already losing Forsaken and continuing to work on this Zarya, but just can't finish her off. Block coming back in and cleaning him up. They're up to 83% though, ZP. This is getting real dire.
Shadowburn, Dragon Blade out once more, has one, looking for a Soundbarrier, gonna stymie him just a bit here. Has to put it away, but not before Locke is in rough shape. But Midnight there with the assist, able to take him out. I wonder how that fight would have been if there wasn't that miscommunication where you see what X-Frenzy just did with his Zarya. That's what Too Easy could have done, but the communication just was not there.
Down to the wire now as they desperately look to recap. They will be successful, but they fight still into three ultimates already. No Shadowburn sword. That's the really good news here.
Shadowburn can get it up in one fight, but it is going to take a bit longer here. Spirit is going to be able to open up with his Dragon Blade before anything happens. He's backing up here at 200 HP. Doesn't want to go in with the Dragon Blade. Here comes Blade going in right to the back line.
What does Spirit get done here? Slicing, but not finding kills just yet. As the Zen ultimates get committed. Now a sleeping Zarya stands by while he charges forward, and Too Easy still looking to win the duel against X-Frenzy. Pushes through him and will bring him down just barely at that, and now sweeping back around, looking for the pulse bomb, not going to connect, and does get finished off by Spirit, who continues to hang on to this point for his team.
Spirit coming in from the back. He has 3 kills just in the last few moments in this fight. Will get the flint he was looking for. Rise, though, still with a long way to go. As long as Spirit can stay alive and do what he's doing, it's looking really good for Rise Nation. Unfortunately, doing the consistency against Shadowburn is going to be hard, and Shadowburn definitely making a point here of getting after Spirit. He's got the Dragon Blade to go along with it here at LD on this next push.
Yeah, combine that with the Zarya ult. Won't have a whole lot else, though, and there is a sound barrier to try and slow it down, but he gets shielded, quickly slicing through the shield, and now working on the sound barrier heroes. Can they combo it? You betcha! Too Easy coming in as well. It's up to Spirit, and he's against the world, but he's already Discord orbed and dealt with. Spirit going down, X-Frenzy as well, and that is going to be the point, and quite possibly the game right there.
FaZe almost there, and that will be it. FaZe going to move on through the upper bracket. Gonna knock Rise down. Rise, though, definitely showing us some good stuff at points. Just was not enough.
Oh, it was...
Speaking of the good stuff, X-Frenzy, the true hero moment.
It was...
Oh, this wasn't the 6K. This was just a combo.
How do you not get a 6K?
It was too spread out.
Yeah,
like, it's not all together.
You know, that's probably one of the toughest algorithms to put together properly, so I think Blizzard's definitely done a good job at improving over time, but still some polishing.
As long as we're not seeing Mercy play the game every game, I'm honestly okay with anything, even if it's a whole bunch of Reaper plays.
It's just, even when a Mercy play, you can appreciate it like intellectually. It's like, it's hard to get that excited about someone hiding around a corner. Yeah, sometimes you get like the spawn res at the end of Gibraltar, but...
My favorite was the pub on Kings Row where you just see the Mercy staring at a wall the entire play of the game, and then at the very end, boop, everyone comes res. It's just like, I mean, it was a big play, but you were also staring at a wall.
Hey, you do what you got to do to win the game. So with that, FaZe are going to take it, CP, and that brings us up to our last match of the day as they move along in the upper bracket, taking down Rise Nation. They are guaranteed top 3. Definitely, if not the overall favorite, then at least in the top 2-3 discussion coming in. And we move to the lower bracket now. Someone is going home. It's either going to be Kingdom or Team Liquid.
So going in, I kind of feel like you give the edge to Kingdom here, but it's going to be interesting. I think both teams have their shots. Team Liquid, obviously, I think, has been a little bit out of practice, but they have been improving, I think, between Wednesday to now. It's just a matter of will they have improved enough to give Kingdom the fight that they want to give them?
All right, we'll find out, guys. You're watching the Overwatch Route 66 Cup. I'm LD. He's ZP. Follow him on Twitter at TempoZP, and we'll be back in just a few moments for our final match of the day. Stick around.